My name is Tom Geens and I am Belgian. I moved to London in the beginning of the 90s. I've got a degree in economics, and after that I did a postgraduate in theatre. I went to London and I did art direction, copywriting, and started working in advertising, and then basically did more and more directing courses and writing courses. The cinema scene in the UK, it's quite difficult. I think there's too much concentration on commercial stuff and not enough on independent stuff. The continental Europeans are much more supporting authors and writer-directors, people with a sort of strange vision. And in England it seems to be much more about let's make a film, and it's not really about the person behind the film. But I think it's also an opportunity, because the kind of films I want to do in England, there's not a lot of films like that around. So there is an opportunity. I think the problems that any director has in any country are probably the same. There's only one pot of money, and everybody wants a bit of that pot of money, and so it depends who gets it. Every career is different, and every person does stuff in a different fashion. But what the advice I would give is to do as many films as possible. The most important thing is to find your own voice, and the only way you're going to find your own voice is by making as many films as possible, and by risking to make mistakes and not be scared to make mistakes. There are a lot of people, I think, who make films, and especially young people who make films in the same way as other people, or because they have been told they should make films like this. I think there needs to be more experimentation. I started making my own films. I started to see, wow, I can actually do this as well. This is not only certain people who can do this. From that moment onwards, I never looked back, and I said, I can do this for the rest of my life. My website, www.chickenfactory.co.uk. The film I'm presenting at Milano Film Festival is called Liar, Menteur in French. It's a French film I did in 2008 with a very small amount of money, 140,000 euros in Brussels. It's my first feature film. It's a social drama about a family where one guy, the older brother, is always seen as a stupid guy, and then when his younger brother starts to get more and more threaten his natural position as the older brother, he starts to think, well, I don't want to be seen as a stupid one anymore, and he starts to basically try to get a job which is far too high above his qualifications, and he starts to lie, and that's why it's called Liars. It's kind of a sort of fly on the wall study of someone who's going increasingly crazy. It's very much a docu style, trying to be as realistic as possible, and trying to create a sort of immediacy and a claustrophobic atmosphere as much as possible, to really evoke visually as well what actually goes on in the main character's head. For the main guy, actually, he came to one of the first castings, and I always had a feeling, yes, this guy. I was more secure about actually finding Antoine than about the rest of the cast in a way.